Legal aspects of banking. TDS, tax deducted at source. As per Income Tax Act, it is advance tax. Any company or person making a payment is required to deduct tax at source. If the payment crosses a certain limit, it has to be deducted with the prescribed rate as declared in the finance bill or by the CBDT. Deductor. The company or person that makes the payment after deducting TDS is called a deductor. It is the deductor responsibility to deduct TDS before making the payment and deposit the same with CBDT. Deductee. The company or a person receiving the payment is called deductee. TDS is deducted on the following types of payment: salary, interest payments by bank, commission payments, rent payments, professional fees, consultation fees. In case of individual who is going to pay fees to doctor or lawyer against the consultation, need not to pay TDS. Payment made by the bank where TDS is not applicable under section 196 of income tax, no deduction of tax shall be made from any sum of payable to the government, the RBI, a mutual fund specified under clause 23D of section 10. Interest payment made by any banking companies, financial corporation, other notified institutions. TDS return. A deductor has to deposit the deducted TDS to the government and the details of the same have to be filed with the department quarterly without fail. Month of deduction: April, May, June, July, August, September. Quarter ending 30th June, 30th September. Due date for TDS payment: 7th May, 7th June, 7th July, 7th August, 7th September, and 7th October, and so many on. Due to prevailing COVID-19 situation, the last date of filing TDS returns for quarter 1 and quarter 2 for financial year 2020-21 has been extended up to 31st March 2021. Therefore, kind transfer the proceeds through IBTS as and when TDS certificate are received from the deductors. In case you have not deposited TDS accordingly in correct date, and then the following charges are applicable: late filing fees if you not maintain the deadline, interest not follow the time norms to deposit the TDS, penalty not file TDS within 1 year of the due date. Late filing fee imposed through section 234E. If you not maintain the deadline to deposit the TDS, then you will have to pay a fine of rupees 200 per day until your return is filed. You have to pay this on daily basis until the fine amount is equal to the amount you are supposed to pay as TDS. Example: X bank payable TDS amount was 10,000 on 18th June and bank has paid on 18th October. It means delay of 122 days including 18th October observed, which is as follow: June 12 days and July, August, September. Total calculation is 122 days. So filing fee will be 200 into 122, that is 24,400. Interest as per section 201A. Interest has been charged by CBDT in two cases: non-deduction of taxes at source, deducted but not paid it to the authority concerned. In both cases, one has to pay interest at the rate 1% per month from the date at which TDS was deducted to the actual date of deposit. Penalty. Penalty is applicable when a person fails to pay the credit to the CBDT. This kind of act is punishable under section 234E and 271H. Submission of PAN. In all the situation of TDS, deductee is required to furnish PAN to the person making the payment. If PAN is not submitted by the deductee, then higher rate of interest is applicable, and for this financial year it is 20% as per section 206AA. TDS is also applicable for non-resident whose income is taxable in India. Next, when deductee has requested for lower deduction or nil deduction, A deductee of taxable payment has right to put his request with the deductor about lower deduction or nil deduction under section 197. In such cases, he has to submit a certificate issued by the assessing officer of the area concerned under section 197 for a specific period with applicable rate. 15G and 15H. Individual of less than 60 years of age or a person not being a company or firm who is resident in India and can request the bank not to deduct tax at source on interest paid available on time deposit and rate payable by furnishing a declaration in Form 15G to the effect that the tax on their estimated total income of the relevant financial year will be nil. However, the declaration in Form 15G is not applicable if the amount of income, individually or in aggregate, credited or paid or likely to be credited or paid during the concerned financial year in which such income is to be deducted exceeds which in such income is to be included exceeds the maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax, rupees 2,50,000 for financial year 1920. Resident senior citizen person 60 or more during the previous year can furnish similar undertaking in the Form 15H, certifying that his estimated taxable income is below the maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax and tax thereon would be nil, irrespective of the interest amount and rent amount paid or credited or likely to be paid or credited during the financial year. In this regard, is to be noted that a customer would need to provide the details of all his or her time deposits with bank in Form 15GH. The declaration given in the form is valid for a financial year. Branches should ensure that all the details of Form 15G and 15H received from customer are captured in system so that benefits of non-deduction of tax is passed on to the customer. Further, the branches shall be required to retain the physical form for a period of 7 years from the end of financial year the, in which the Form 15G, Form 15H has been received. Form 16. It is a certificate employer issue to their employees validating the fact that TDS has been deducted as per the applicable rate and deposited with the authorities on behalf of the employee. Basically, this certificate contains the information one has to require to file income tax return. It has been divided in two categories, Part A and Part B. Part A can generate and download through TRACS site. Prior to issuing it, one should authenticate its detail because change of employer during the financial year need to furnish separate Part A of the Form 16 for the period of employment. Form 60A. It is a certificate issued against the income other than salary. The last date of issuance of certificate is as under. Particulars of certificate. Form 16 in case of salary. Due date for issuing of certificate 31st May of financial year immediately following the FY in which the income was paid and tax deducted. Form 16A other than salary for the quarter ending 30th June, 30th July, for the quarter ending 13th September, 30th October, for the quarter ending 31st December, that is 30th January, and for the quarter ending 31st March, that is 30th May. Form 16B for consideration towards acquisition of immovable property other than agriculture land from resident within 15 days from due date of furnishing the challan cum statement in Form 26 QB. Form 60. Any person who does not have a PAN and who enters into any transaction where PAN is required to be quoted can make a declaration in Form number 60 giving therein the particulars of such transaction. Form 61. Any person who does not have a PAN and having agriculture income and is not in receipt of any other income chargeable to income tax shall make a declaration in Form number 61 giving therein the particulars of such transactions. The Form 60 or 61 so collected need to be forwarded to the Commissioner of Income Tax Central Information Branch having territorial jurisdiction over the area in which the transaction is entered into half yearly installment I on the before 31st October for the forms received up to 30th September and 30th April for the forms received up to 31st March. TDS requirement for financial year 1920 payments to residents other than salary. Section 193 nature of payment interest on securities debentures threshold 10,000 rate 10%. 194A interest on bank deposit for senior citizen 50,000 threshold 40,000 rate 10%. 194C contractor single transaction threshold 30,000 rate first individual HUF others. 194I rent threshold 2,40,000 land and building 10% P&M 2%. 194J professional fee technical fee threshold 30,000 rate of interest 10%. Commission or brokerage 194H commission or brokerage 15,000 rate 5%. 194N cash withdrawal threshold 20 lakhs rate 2% exceeding 20 lakhs 5% exceeding 1 crore. Please ensure that TDS on transfer of immovable property under section 194 IA pertains to only the immovable property which are owned by bank. In case of auction of the mortgage property offered as security to the loan accounts, TDS certificate should be in the name of legal owner only as the bank is not the owner of the mortgage property. Therefore, TDS, if any, effected at the time of sale of such immovable property cannot be claimed by the bank. Next, TDS on fixed deposit. TDS on FD is deducted under the Income Tax Act 1961. Fixed deposit is a financial instrument offered by banks to save money and earn higher rate of interest. The interest earned from FD is added to the income and is taxable. However, if your tax liability on total income amounts to nil, you can claim for non-deduction of TDS on fixed deposit by submitting Form 15G or 15H for senior citizen to the bank. You can check TDS on FD through Form 16A or quarterly interest certificate issued by bank. Both these forms show the interest earned over a period of time. Current rates of TDS on FD. Payment nature. Interest other than income by way of interest on securities. Section 194A. TDS on FD rate till May 13, 2020 10%. TDS on FD rate from May 14, 2020 7.5%. Applicable for only current year. Points to remember. TDS on FD interest gained up to rupees 50,000 is eligible for exemption under section 194A for senior citizen and rupees 40,000 for other individuals. FD interest gain over 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs is eligible for extra tax deduction of 10% and 20% respectively in addition to TDS as per the Income Tax Act 1961. For NRI citizens, TDS on FD rate is 30%, which is also liable for surcharge, tax and cess. For joint account holder, fixed deposit TDS is deducted against the primary account holder's PAN information, where the secondary account holder is not liable for any deduction. Interest gained from tax saver FD is also subject to TDS deduction. Accounting of TDS by branches offices. The relevant income should be accounted for at the gross amount received plus the TDS. TDS should be debited to a BGL number 98961. TDS on bank's income only. Branches offices should not use any current account for TDS on bank's income. The TDS certificate original should be preserved carefully for onward submission to FR&T department. Further, while forwarding the TDS certificate, please ensure that these are complete and correct in all respect. Tax deduction account number TAN of the deductor and PAN of the deductee, i.e. SBI SSS 8577K, is correctly mentioned in the certificate and that all certificates are downloaded from TRACS bearing a unique TDS certificate number. Responsibilities obligation of deductor pertaining to TDS compliance. As you are aware, the following steps are part of the bank's TDS compliance responsibility. Under the centralized environment, TDS will be remitted centrally at whole bank level, while the branches are responsible for ensuring correct deduction of tax. Please refer our e-circular number dash dash. Under centralized environment for FY 2017-18, the TDS statement Form 24Q, 26Q, 27Q will be filed at central level. Please refer circular number. इतना 24Q salary, 26Q all payment except salary, 27Q NRI TDS. After filing the TDS return, the branches must log on to the TRACS website and download the TDS certificate and verify them before signing and issuing it to the persons on whose account tax has been deducted. The last date for issuance of certificate is as under. It is not so much important. Right to Information Act 2005. The preamble of the Act specifies the purpose of RTI Act as under, setting out the particular regime of a right to information for citizens, secure access to information under the control of public authorities, promote transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority, ensure informed citizenry and transparency in governance, etc. Hence, the bank is bound to provisions of RTI Act 2005 in providing information to the citizens. Next, who can seek information? Section 3 of Right to Information Act provides as under, subject to the provision of this Act, all citizens shall have the right to information. Role of CAPIO. When an application is received at the office of the CAPIO, the concerned CAPIO should scrutinize the application to ensure the following. Role. The CPIO is the person who has to actually deal with the request and provide the information. Where the requester cannot make this request in writing, the CPIO should render reasonable assistance to the person to put out the same in writing. Disposal of request. The CPIO has to deal with the such application in accordance with the provisions of RTI Act and take a decision either to provide or not to provide the information. The normal time available for a CPIO to dispose for the application is 30 days from the date of receipt of the application. However, in respect of application received through a CAPIO or a public authority other than the bank, the CPIO has a time limit of 35 days from the date of receipt of the application by a CPIO. If the information sought to applicant concern of life of liberty of person, the same has to be disposed of within 48 hours. The important point is CPIO should transfer such application to such other public authority within 5 days under section 6(3) of RTI Act. What should be to be scrutinized? That is signature, address, enclosure, prescribed fee, language, particulars of information. Payment fee is application fee ₹10 for RTI. Situation and time limit. Supply of information in a normal course 30 days. Supply of information it is concerned to life liberty of person 48 hours. Supply of information if the application is received through CAPIO, 5 days shall be added to the time period indicated at serial number 1 and 2. 5 more days. Supply of information if application request is received after transfer from another public authority, normal case, within 30 days of the receipt of the application by the concerned public authority. In case the information concerns the life of liberty of person, within 48 hours of the receipt of the application. Supply of information if it relates to third party, that should be provided after procedure that is given in 16 section 11. Supply of information where the applicant is asked to pay additional fee, that the period intervening between informing the applicant about additional fee and the payment of fee by the applicant shall be excluded. RBI structure, that is very important. Establishment LHO, appellate authorities GM network 1, CPIO that means AGM premises और CAPIO मतलब chief manager, और administrative office GM DGM CM, RBO में GM, फिर regional manager CM admin GM, like this is not important.